Settle. Okay. No. Oh, okay. Okay, so I know this is actually Wednesday, but I already did my dream snap, so I decided to fill in the rest of the time with Minecraft, and then I'm gonna go on to my second character for Dreamlight Valley. I uh I put her in the competition, but it didn't in the Dream Snap competition. But I can't record it because it won't let me. It's not set up yet. So, I was actually not going to do that. And then I was like, well, no, how about this one? I wasn't going to do that, but then I was like, Natalie needs to be caught up on, all the goings on in Dreamlight Valley. So I decided to, start playing her file 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Oh, wait, anyway, so I decided to start playing her file just for, like a for fun thing. But then I was like, might as well put her in the dream snap competition. See what I get. Anyway, I can't wait to find out. Um, so in case you haven't been watching every single one of these, I decided to rebuild Fictional Ireland the way it was supposed to be in the first place before the file got corrupted in April of 2024. And then Minecraft said, oh, we don't keep a copy of it. It's saved locally. So I'm like, great. What does that mean? And they're like, they basically said I was screwed. I have to go and rebuild it. It's like, okay, well, I've built it 300,000 times before. I think I can build it. Not, not a big issue, but I was crying because, I'm a girl, but, I was crying because, like, this is, my world. And they were acting like they didn't even care. This is my story world, and I build it so people know what it's supposed to look like. And and it turns out different every single time I build it. like right now, I decided to make this this spot back here. I made this 10 on the side because it made more sense. If you've got a big rig dropping stuff off, well, even if you've got, like a U-Haul sized truck dropping stuff off, it needs room to be able to negotiate. I mean, to drive around. That's what I meant, drive around. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Really? Huh? Oh, because I gave it 100. Oh, I already had that. Yeah, I already have that figured out. Okay. So anyway, this is this is a gas station near the house, near-ish the house. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, and then oh wait, unless I put the refrigerators on that side. That would make sense, I guess. I don't know why. I usually put them on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Although I've been lighting everything up with these things. See, our friend Sid invited me to a party, and I'm like, okay. But then the party encountered an error as soon as I got in it. Or, as soon as I tried to get in it. So I expected him to try again, and as far as I know, he hasn't. Maybe he thinks I'm, just saying that. There's been a lot of times when I just want to record my thing and then get off, so I can work on my stories. So somewhere in this building, the reason why it's a different length front to back is because somewhere in this building is the apartment that they have. So yesterday I was putting... Yesterday? No, 2 days ago. Sorry. 2 days ago I was putting this together. The whole entire wall thing here. I thought this looked pretty good. It looks more like an actual... It's still too perfect, but but it looks like, what it might look like. I'm still trying to take that out. I'm still ignoring the heck out of making the, maybe, hmm, maybe instead of right there, because there needs to be room, there needs to be room for, why? Okay, anyway, there needs to be room for uh the ships to be docked here too. So okay, so I had this all set up and ready to go. But like I said, there needs to be room for 3 ships right here. Dang. But anyway, this is what the cave's gonna look like. The part, well, except for that's gonna be sealed off. But this is what the cave's gonna look like. And this is what the under the house looks like. Okay, so my question is, if I take this over that way, that's going to end up under the house. But is it going to end up to where I need stairs on the other side, or what? And it is very possible that, like, maybe I that's why I'm only doing one wall. It is possible that I did it to myself because the file getting corrupted. It's possible that I did it to myself because I learned how to turn on and off redstone, and I love using it. But maybe I had too much in my file. I don't know. Although I'm definitely still using it in the movie theater because the way that I can turn on and off the lights for each theater is just so cool. Okay. So hopefully, because I don't know what the policy is on that. Like if you're listening to, uh, say Ava Max, and Kings and Queens, or like We Built This City by Starship, or We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel, you know, and you don't have permission, I understand that. But what if it's your own story that you turned into an audio, but technically you don't know if you have the license to have it as an audio with that particular program? You know, I don't know. But yeah, this part's totally innocent, but I'm kind of hoping that, like, I'm kind of hoping it cannot be heard this time, just because the one thing said upgrade and you got a license, and then the other thing immediately said you don't got a license yet. It's like, okay, which is it? I don't know, but yeah, I really like my story, and oh, you know what? Oh, okay. The only person trying to talk to me is best viewers over here. So I didn't mean to. I, um, people keep asking me or offering me help with my art, which I, I am not artsy. I can draw a pretty good background, but I can't draw, like I can't draw people. I can't draw, um, the pirate ship very well. It usually ends up looking like a rowboat that happens to have a mast. um, stuff like that. Anyway, people on my that see me on Twitch keep offering art help, and I really made somebody upset the other day because my sister introduced me to AI art. And I did my best to make sure that it did not look like anything anybody else had done, hopefully. Um, I really did my best to try to make it not look like anything because, I had very specific situations. So hopefully it'll be okay. Hey, go down one and we're on a specific level. Cool. Um, okay, now that I've got that wall in place. Ow, ow, ow. That one, yeah. Sorry, babe. No, you gotta keep that off of there. You just don't get it, do you? So, my cat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is on my lap, and he doesn't seem to be understanding that that he can't have his paw where he wants to have it because it was kind of not hurting, just aching my knee. I've got sensitive knees. Um, Walking to Walmart in the snow when they haven't plowed your street because they don't care. You know, they think you're a bunch of nobodies because you live in an apartment. Or at least it sure felt like it. Um, Not that one, this one. Anyway, it seemed like they didn't care because we lived in an apartment on a side street. And, because of that, well, okay, so the first time I lifted my foot not high enough and tripped on the sidewalk. Okay, that's fine. The second time I literally tripped on air. Not kidding you. I tripped on air. And I say it that way because I didn't trip on the sidewalk. I don't know what happened. Um anyway, and then the second time I think I just didn't lift my foot high enough. Or maybe the third one was the air but I think it was the second one. Anyway, it was not fun. Oh, okay, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah. So I didn't need that there. I needed it elsewhere. Here. Well, anyway. But yeah, so I'm rebuilding Fictional Ireland. This is the 15th video on it, and I'm gonna keep building it. I've noticed that people watch F Whip, and he does, you know, he's building his place, but he's doing like an ancient world. So it's got like, I don't want to say more of a story, but it's got what some people perceive as a better story, I guess. I don't know. But I'm thinking that, mine's not getting advertised as much as him. Like, he's like you would go and call him an old established firm. Not that he's old, just, that he's, already got the people. And then he decided to do this village thing. And he's got like a story that he can explain, but he doesn't explain it any better than I do, so I don't know. Anyway, so my husband put in paperwork so we can go see our son's graduation. Only one of his coworkers, who's also a supervisor person, uh, she put in her paperwork too, so she can go uh, get something done at the doctor. And because of that, we have to leave on the day of the graduation, which thankfully is at 7:30. 7:30 p.m. Because if we had to leave at the if we had to leave at uh like he's supposed to have, okay, so the graduation is on a Friday, and the day before obviously is Thursday, and if we had to leave after work on Thursday, that would be really bad. Um, my husband's supposed to do a short shift, so he's there in the morning, and then we can go down there as soon as we're done eating breakfast. Um, but I'm like really afraid that my cats have been fighting. Uh, Ever since we got Bobby, the boys have been hostile toward Bobby because she's not very nice to them sometimes. Like anytime they walk by, she's growling. She's the new kid, and it's been like over a month, and I think, and they still haven't gotten used to each other. Yesterday, Ben looked like he was climbing Rapunzel's tower to fight the dragon. Speaking of that, in one of my stories, because I had a dream about this, and I loved the idea. Um like Ashley was in a tower and she was wearing normal clothes. And then she goes and looks down at herself, and she's wearing, like the beautiful princess gown from a fairy tale, you know. And somebody's got her locked up in this tower because I can't remember who it was. Anyway, some evil witch lady or whatever has her locked up in this tower. And Sean, he 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. So Sean, he goes to rescue her on his horse Thunder, who at that point in time, because I thought horses had, I looked it up like on GOOGLE, and it said that the lifespan of a horse is like 7 years or something like that. And if they got the horse when he was 12, then, you know, or 10 or 11 or whatever, he would have been at that point where he's, the end of his life. So, but then I was talking to some lady in line at Walmart, and she's like, "Oh, they can live to be like 30, they can live to be, like 30 years old." So, oh, I went it that way. Oh, that's not what it, I'm getting confused here. Okay. Well, actually, it kind of works. Okay. Anyway, so Sean goes to rescue her, and he's wearing regular clothes, if I remember correctly. And then all of a sudden he looks down and he's got, the prince outfit with the cape and everything. like Prince Philip on Sleeping Beauty, maybe. Only in all black. Anyway, and he goes and he gets up to the top of the tower, but the bad guy pushes him out. Something like, yeah, I think the bad guy pushed him out the window, and or pushed her out the window. Somebody got pushed out the window. I think no, it had to have been Ashley, because later she says I bounced. Um. Anyway, somebody got pushed out the window, and then it's like the dream started over again, and that's when uh you learn that she got pushed out the window, and and there was something about she got handed a tissue box, like Kleenex. um it's the only brand that was coming to mind, although I like Puffs better than I like Kleenex. I do appreciate Kleenex, but yeah, I like Puffs better. It's just because they're softer. Not a paid advertisement for either one of them. It's just, that's the example I used. Um, it's kind of funny though, because like we never grew up with Kleenex, if I remember correctly. I mean, tissues. Um, yeah, I think tissues is a generic way of saying it. Um, anyway, we never had tissues. We had toilet paper, but we didn't have tissues. Or like sometimes we had them and sometimes we didn't. You know. So what was it? We needed to go down. Um, where did we figure this out? I know we figured this out. Oh, oh. That's down here. Okay. Okay. So anyway, so like the first time she get, I, I want to say it was Sean's nightmare, but I'm not sure. And Sean and Ashley, like they got such a strong bond, from being boyfriend girlfriend, that they share each other's dreams. I don't know if that's a thing that happens in real life. I've never actually had a dream like that before. But but I decided that they've got such a strong bond that that's what's going to happen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whether it's true or not, you know. Whether it's true or not, that's what's going to happen. So, actually, that would probably be a better thing for over here. Like, step down 1, right here. So, like, I'm kind of doing an experiment because sometimes I need to find that file and see, if I can remember better. Um, anyway, sometimes, okay, so it looks like we already went all the way. Yeah. Yeah, I think we already went all the way. Okay. Yeah, I lost what I was saying. I lost me what I was saying. He told me nothing. So this is something I can talk about. Intelligently, actually remember some of the stuff that happens in it. Sean and Jesse are like, they're at the prom, but they're not at the prom with the girls that you would expect. They're with Russian uh, a Russian twin set named Maya and Mia. And I totally got that off of Princess Diaries. I just liked how Maya and Mia sounded. So, in Princess Diaries, they're talking about Jeremiah and Mia. And she goes, Maya and Mia, and makes fun of them. Well, in my story, Ashley hears what their names are and, immediately decides to laugh. Okay, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. There. And now I can go and set this up. Okay, so the story lore or the story behind what I'm doing right now is that Ashley found this cave. This is going to be a tougher cave to navigate. It's going to have like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's going to have like 1, 2, 3. Wait, okay, that doesn't work. Well, you would expect 1, 2, 3 though. So yeah. So Ashley has found this cave and she has made it her secret hiding place. And every single time Ashley's come this way, Single time Ashley's come this way, Sean's come up here. This would actually be on the floor, but I just don't want to build it that way right now. Yeah, I need, like I said, I need more beach space. And I think I need to build the... I think I need to build the ships and then decide how much space we have. I mean, how much space we need. But anyway, something like this. For now, I'm only going to build this part because I still want to build that. Anyway, Sean comes up. He sees, oh, there's a wall there and thinks there's nothing behind there. But Ashley, at some point, decided, I wonder if there is anything in here. And she discovered, oh, wow, there's a cave and it looks out into the ocean. So later, at some point, they're going to gonna build this spot to the garage over there. The garage wasn't originally gonna exist, and then it was like, ooh. Anyway, so they're at the prom with Mia and Maya, their junior prom. And they're dancing, and Ashley gets invited to the prom by her other best friend, Sam Crenshaw, who eventually is going to have, in the audio version, eventually going to have the Irish voice because I either didn't have the Irish voice to start out with or something. There's got to be a reason why I didn't use it. It's possible I couldn't get him to speak English. Although it may be that he didn't sound enough Irish, but or he sounded more Scottish than Irish or something. There's got to be a reason. Anyway, so she's dressed to kill. She's still only she's got to be 15 in that scene, or just turned 14. See, that's the problem. I have still not figured out how old they need to be, because I think there's still a summer to go before they find out about something very important. Okay, this is the cave. See, but the thing is, I need the whole entire circle of space. Well, mock circle. Okay. 1, two, three, four. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Why 6? I don't know. I want to say I screwed up. Oh my goodness. That's the second time that's happened. I'm like trying to get up. Oops. I'm like trying to get up. And all of a sudden I find out I'm as far down as possible. Whatever. Anyway, so at one point Jesse or maybe it is anyway, at one point Jesse and Sean asked to dance with Ashley, and they get permission to do so. And then uh she asks them to walk her back to Sam, and Jesse said she was dressed to kill. Not literally, but there we go. Not literally, like the way she dresses is gonna kill anybody. Not literally, but actually I think that was but that's an uneven number. This is 3. I thought it was 4. 3 works better though. So all of a sudden Back in Black is stuck in my head. So if anybody ever asks me what music I like best, I can't really answer the question. Because I like classical, I like rock and roll, I like country, both kinds of country, the original country, and, like Garth Brooks, Carrie Underwood, Um, definitely Brad Paisley with Mr. Policeman. That's one that when I'm driving, it's like really fun to listen to. Um, yeah. So uh, at one point, Ashley has to go to the bathroom, and so does Mia. Anyway, the one that Sean. Okay, Sean's like, I don't think the twins that uh Jesse talked me into taking are really the one that I should be taking, but he takes her anyway. To the prom. Anyway, whichever one Sean got, I'm pretty sure Mia. She ends up needing to go to the bathroom at the same time. And Ashley walks up to her and goes, "Did you get your picture taken already?" And Maya explains that she got the picture taken a that they got the picture taken shortly after they arrived. So then Ashley, um, Ashley's one of those girls that she's gonna fight to get what she wants, especially when it comes to Sean. So she punches Mia, tells her never to date him again. And Mia happens to fall in a wet spot that was on the floor. Why would there be a wet spot on the floor? I have no idea, but there was a wet spot on the floor. But actually, the real reason why she was in the bathroom in the first place, because she's angry at Sean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because he's one of those guys that doesn't just dance with the girl that he brought, he dances with a whole bunch of girls. So he might be dancing with Mia for the first dance, and then Tiffany for the second dance, and Ashley for the third dance, stuff like that. Oh my goodness. This is going to take a while to figure out. Anyway. Oh, I like the 2. Oh. Yeah. Okay. We figured that out. No, we didn't. Okay. Well, I guess it's going to have to be 7 then. So it's like 2, 3, 2. Bless you. Okay, so I don't know what just happened. Well, based on yesterday, I think I'm going to turn on the air conditioner. Because it's getting hot in here. But, when my cat Sam was on my lap, and he was about to get up, so he, sits up, and he sneezes. And then he totally ditched me for the cat tree, which is perfectly fine. It's fine. Yeah, so my husband keeps saying I'm the crazy cat lady. We only have 3 cats. But I was counting them yesterday, and we've had a ton of cats. Although, 8 of them weren't actually ours. I think we were fostering the kittens, but then we had to have them come pick them up because, it was too many cats for the apartment we were staying in. And, so we had, okay, so there was a lady that had literally 100 cats. She was moving, I think. She was moving from Carson to Silver Springs or something like that. Anyway, whatever. She had, remember what I said, 100 cats. She brought 4 of them to our house, claiming that they saw their mom get tortured by humans, and they were snarling and stuff. Anyway, it didn't end nice for Mama. So these girls were very distrustful of humans, and they were snarling at each other, and they were snarling at us, and by the time they left our house, they were nice, normal, playing with toys. Unfortunately, they went back to Crazy Lady. But she also had 300 pigeons. Yeah. Um, I think it's like illegal to have that in Nevada, but I don't know. Just seems way excessive to have that many animals. Okay, so although at least I know where Back in Black came from. Yeah, my mind bounces around a lot. That's part of the reason why sometimes I'm like, okay, what part of the story am I talking about? What part of the story am I trying to fix? I mean, because, I could be working on Esperanza's party, like, say on Monday, but then I'll be, like, working on the island on Tuesday, and, so I'm like, okay, what am I doing? And then I'm like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing now. And then I can work on it, but oh my goodness. Hmm. In another part of the same book, it's Esperanza's party. Um, Sam has taken Ashley out on a date to Sean's favorite clearing. They have the mansion has a forest uh, behind it, next to it. I don't know how you would really describe that, because the front door is faced toward the ocean, the back door is faced toward the next town over, and the side of the house is actually faced toward town. So, anyway, however you describe that, um, you go out the back door, and between the back door and uh, okay, there's the back door, the backyard, and then there's um, which, which in this file I still have not figured out how big the backyard needs to be, because I've got to get not lazy and actually figure it out. Um, I've got to figure out where okay, do this first. It'll make more sense. Um, I've got to figure out where the hallway actually starts, and then as soon as I can figure out that, then I'll be able to put in stuff like bathrooms and bedrooms, and because I built that and don't have enough bathrooms to go around. My husband's like, you should probably make it to where you've got, bathrooms in every single room. But then that makes part of the story not work. Because why would Ashley, if she had a bathroom in her own room, why would she be going down the hall to take her shower there? And that's a very important part of the story. Um, there we go. Anyway, so I gotta figure out where the hallway is. And as soon as I figure out where the hallway is, then, like I said, I can put in the bathrooms and all that stuff. And then I don't have to worry about, uh, are there enough bathrooms? Because the mansion has like 600 people living in it. Or at least it was over 600 people at one time. And if I end up having my stories be the way that they are right now with the audio version, then it'll be really cool because, like, Ashley has her own voice and Sean has his own voice and the narrator has a voice because I didn't like it for anything else. To me, to me, the voice Abigail sounds like a guy. It says it's Abigail, but it sounds like a guy. It actually kind of sounds like um the way he the way well anyway, it kind of sounds like the guy on Deck the Halls. I'm thinking, the voice isn't the same, but and he doesn't sound like British or whatever, um but it sounds like the guy at the um place that was trying to see if his Christmas lights could be seen from space. The one that said somebody's mom had brought in a tin of biscuits or tin of cookies, something like that. Um, and I believe he was trying to get the attention of the newscaster, but I don't remember. I might be mixing up two movies there. Oh no, that's what it was. Okay, so she is thinking that the Christmas lights thing was, really important because, it was a Christmas thing. And, you know, it's like bringing the whole community together to try to get this goal done. But she's like looking at the guy trying to figure out if Danny DeVito's character's lights are seen from space. She kind of thinks that he's a loser, which I think is rude. Wait, so that would have to be down here. So that sounds like we need to go down 2, not 1. Huh. I'll have to figure that out. I'm okay, I just don't know what I'm choking on. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. Still trying to get this figured out. No, that needs to be there. There we go. Okay. Oh, or are we... No. Comes right out here. And... Okay, so... So we're like in the middle of this parking garage. closer to the top, it looks like. Wow. Okay, so we're closer to the top, but not at the top. And we're not at the bottom either. I was thinking we were going to end up at the bottom. Okay. So I probably mentioned this already, like an hour ago or more, but I'm playing a second file for Dreamlight Valley to that one I can relax. I can just play it. It's not a big deal. Except for when there was the star path. I'm trying to get that done as best as I can. I mean, as fast as I can because I realized that Natalie probably uh, lost out on some things. And the only reason why I have the second file in the first place is because there was some stuff that I just didn't record. And then I'm like, oh, well, I promised to show everything, you know? So I did it on the Natalie file. So then there was, a bunch of Natalie videos. Well, I can't record it that way anymore. I was recording it with a webcam and, was it OBS Studio? OSB Studio? OBS, I think. Okay, I can't remember. But I never said that I was a photographic memory person, so. Um, okay, so sometimes I wish I had a photographic memory, but I think that would take the fun out of reading some books because, like, what happened, but, like if you read a book, you know what happened, but you don't know all the details because you can't memorize everything necessarily. But, like, you could probably tell somebody, no, that's not the way that happened, and it happened this way. So I may not be able to tell every little detail of my book, but, sometimes it'd be nice to have a photographic memory so I could do better than what I do. Although I try. Anyway, so total change of subject. I Well, actually, it's going back to a subject I started earlier. I actually uh, used AI to make a picture for my banner on Twitch, and I'm hoping that nobody gets all upset at me. I already know I upset one person because she was offering me art help, and I can't afford an artist. There's no way I can afford an artist. So, until I start making some money, but, like, all of them had, all the artists have offered me art help are, uh, they draw cartoon looking people and with like Final Fantasy backgrounds and stuff that you might expect to see on a car like the airbrush, like, uh, a, a not mafia and not gang really, but like those people with the dancing cars, with the hydraulics that make it dance. I can't think of the wordage right now, but yeah, you would expect that on their car. Well, that's not the kind of art that I need. I mean, it looks good and everything, but that's not the art that I need. I need a pirate ship. Um, I need Ashley, Sean, Morgan, Hayden, all my characters. And I'm, I'm too nice a person to really say, uh, that that's not the kind of art I need. But I can say it on this video, and hopefully, some of them will see that and, be able to come up with something for if I ever make enough book sales that I can get an artist. Although I was really impressed because I put into the AI that I wanted a pirate ship. It's got girly sides, at the very front of the ship and the very back of the ship. It doesn't exactly work perfectly, but I was impressed because I said with a purple ear, black flag with a purple eerie skull and pirate ship, and it came up with something, and that's what is my banner right now. Of course, I went and tried to have it do 2 cages, 4 feet apart, 6 feet apart. I think 6 feet apart, and uh, twins sitting in it, but like their feet were dangling out of the cage, or they were too close together, or they weren't twins, or I mean, I put in all the details, like twin Russian boys, or and 16 years old, and all that stuff, and it still decided, yeah, we're gonna do it this way. Like, so a lot of people are upset because AI steals, I mean, can steal ideas from other people, but not all AI does that, I don't think. So, I don't know what to think about that, but if I can go and generate a realistic looking book cover and not have to actually learn art myself because I'm just not good enough at it. Like coloring books, I'm really good at. What I mean, yeah, okay. Coloring books, I'm really good at. Um, but if you ask me to go and draw a pirate ship that looks good and is exactly what I want for that book cover, I'm not gonna be able to do it. So this is a way for me to make a book cover that actually isn't Minecraft. No offense to Minecraft. I love Minecraft, obviously. But it's just not what I need. Oh, and I do want to give a shout out to my husband because I didn't even ask him to do this. So that was really cool. Um, so he had to take his dad to a doctor's appointment yesterday, and apparently on the way back, he went to Costco and got us hot dogs for lunch. I'm pretty sure he sat and ate his uh, before he came home, but he remembered that I can't have the bun, so he actually remembered to tell them that. Uh, I just realized I should have told him double thank you, because he doesn't always remember. You know, a hot dog without a bun, that's just so weird. But for some reason, their wheat is like more wheat concentrated than In-N-Out's hamburger buns. Okay, so like sometimes when I eat wheat, my stomach's got this heavy ugh feeling afterwards. So I try not to eat wheat because, that feeling's not good and I don't like it. Um, and we're like kind of learning what I can eat without having that feeling and what I can't. So we've narrowed it down to I can eat at uh, In-N-Out and Burger King, and as long as I have it without the bun, I can eat the hot dogs at Costco. Not an advertisement for any of those restaurants, but they're three of my favorites. Oh, and I can eat at Panda Express, but I think their noodles actually have gluten in them. So that may be off the list eventually. Because I get the three, I get orange chicken, broccoli beef or beef broccoli, whatever they're calling it. Um, See, the Great China Restaurant when we were growing up in Fairfield, California, they had broccoli beef. And so that's why I started calling it broccoli beef. And then I'm pretty sure Panda Express calls it beef broccoli. I don't know if there's really a difference, but it's more broccoli than it is beef, so why would you call it beef broccoli? But I know for a fact that the Great China Restaurant was run by uh by actual Chinese food experts. So the kind of people who uh you can't necessarily I couldn't necessarily understand what they were saying sometimes because they have such a heavy accent. But but the food was excellent at the time. My brother said that him and his wife Angela, um, oh, I wasn't gonna say names, and then I just okay. So anyway, my brother's name is Josh. He's the older younger brother, and from my second mom, not my first mom. So yeah. So like my from my dad and my first mom, I'm an only child. But then my dad got remarried, and my second mom had two kids, and then my first mom got remarried, and she uh, had two kids. You know, my sister that I usually talk to, you know, in my videos, and my brother who lives in California. You know, I did not think about that. I probably should have, but me and my sister were getting okay. We went down there for Mom's memorial in uh, February of 2022, and I don't know how I did that because I think I was still working for the W store at the time. I had to have been. Huh? I don't know. Anyway, I did not think about that, but my brother got really obnoxious. But I was kind of thinking just now that, he got to live with Mom full time for a good part of his life. And then now all of a sudden she's gone. She's gone on her extended vacation, you know. So maybe that was part of the reason why he was obnoxious. I know what the other reason is. So the cousins all, drink alcohol. And uh and they bought some for my brother, and I don't drink. So I had my soda and I was keeping it with me. Just in case. Okay, so this is where this should go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oh, wait, we can't do that. We'll have to put it on this side. Because there's a light on that side, then you can kind of see that there's a you can see that there's something that goes this way. But it's supposed to be that you can't even see that. Like you can go here and you can't even see that. Um, okay, so for another half an hour, I can do this. And then I'm gonna do Dreamlight Valley and work on my story. Natalie's got uh, a few people left to level up. Like Olaf is on 9. So instead of doing Fairy Godmother next after Beast, I'm probably gonna do Olaf. Get him all leveled up, and then I've been leveling everybody up by pumpkin farming on Dreamlight Valley. In case you have no idea what I'm talking about, I've been leveling Olaf. I mean, not Olaf. Beast up with pumpkin farming, and that's the way I have been leveling up everybody. Usually it's just farming in general, but this time it's pumpkin farming because Natalie needed the money anyway, and pumpkins give you a lot. I went from literally having something thousand, like not even 5,000, to having over 10 million in just a few days. Like, I was literally worried that I was not going to be able to get, I think it was Mike and Sully's house right away because I didn't have enough money to level it up because it was like 20,000 coins. And I'm like, I'm never going to get that. But, like I said, I did the pumpkin farming thing, and literally in the last 2 days, maybe the last 3 days, the last 2 or 3 days, I have leveled up um, Aladdin, Jasmine, Alice, Cheshire Cat, Belle, and I'm working on Beast. So, I think it's a very good way to level people up. My sister said that, it was taking forever. So she goes and gives them lots and lots of jewels. I mean, gems. So, whichever one works best for you. I'm sorry, I'm like bouncing from subject to subject to subject to subject. I do that a lot because, like I said, like I will be sitting there writing down a story idea, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, I finally figured that out, for another story or another story idea. So, yeah, my brain just goes a mile a minute usually. And I'm still trying to figure out. I thought, okay, my husband had all of the Star Wars books, every single one. And we don't know what happened to them. They were either in storage where they weren't supposed to be, or they are here in the house. But I don't think they are. They just poof. Like all of our books. I had like most of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer series. I had every single one of my favorite Nancy Drew series. I was starting to get the yellow books and the blue books for the Hardy Boys. Um, I didn't really know where to start trying to find the paperbacks for the Hardy Boys that were written at pretty much at the same time as my favorite Nancy Drew ones. They went from the 80s to the early 2000s. I totally loved those books. I even don't even have my Harry Potter books. So I'm working on getting my books. Because you could get an author copy, but you have to pay for it. And I hear that, other companies just give that freely. So, or maybe that was just on Murder She Wrote, because that's the whole reason why it's called Murder She Wrote. Is she writes murder mysteries, and whatever episode it is the book that she's working on at that time. At that time. Except for some of the episodes have this other character, Dennis. Like I think they had to go and fill in, like when she was working on Beauty and the Beast, doing the voice for Mrs. Potts. I think they had to put somebody else in there. And it was easier. It was probably a lot easier finding somebody else than, like, say, finding a lookalike and saying, "Oh yeah, that's Jessica." Angela Lansbury has a very distinct look, so I don't think people would have been fooled. And this is before, uh, computer generation CG, uh, or CGI, whatever it's called. Anyway, the technology that they used to put Paul Walker's face on Cody Walker's body, you know. Anyway, um, but they said that they weren't going to do that this time. Or, the rumor is that they're not going to do that. But I don't see how they're going to do that because he needs to look like Paul. And Cody doesn't look enough like Paul. But you could argue that this is an older Paul. So he does look a little different. I don't know. I'm just saying, good luck, and I hope it does come out in 26 like it's supposed to. 2026. Because 10 didn't make enough sense. So, like, 10 is like watching the first half of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows? I'm ashamed that yeah, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. It's like watching the first half, the Bobby. Bobby. Thank you. So, my desk has uh anyway, I'll explain about the desk in a minute. Um, it's like watching number 7. 7A, and then there's 7B, or 7-1 and 7-2, whatever you want to call it. It's like watching that. 7-1 doesn't make enough sense, and you're like, okay, wait, he didn't kill Voldemort, and you're like, are they still gonna have him kill Voldemort? You don't know. You're like, what's going on here? And then you go watch the second half, and you're like, yeah, woohoo, you know. I'm not entirely sure why they did it exactly like that, but it was a really big, long book, so a lot of stuff happened to that book. It's almost like one of my books where like Esperanza's party, you start out at the mansion, and no, you start out at the school. Excuse me. Yeah, you start out at the school, and a boy's asking Ashley out on a date, and she doesn't want to go because she knows this is like, the bad boy, that's probably going to smack her around and not be nice to her. And then there's, she goes and lies to him and says that Sean's taking Ashley out on a date. And he goes and pushes her up against the locker hard and says, "You're going out with me tonight, right?" And she agrees, so he'll let up, but then she doesn't tell her friends about it. So after school, she's helping watch a traffic report on the news because Sean's got a teacher that is tired of hearing about bikinis at the lake. I mean, what girls wearing what bathing suit at the lake for current events. So she said that it had to be a real current event, something like the presidential election for the United States, or I looked it up. Ireland has presidential elections because they have a president. At least that's what GOGLE says. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool because I didn't know other countries had a president. And was it Ireland or Scotland that is tethered to Britain? I think it was Scotland. Because on Braveheart, Scotland was majorly arguing with, I'm going to put it that way, majorly arguing with England because they were trying to say, England was trying to say we're better than you guys. Oh, was it King Longshanks? Pretty sure it was a king. Yeah, because the prince, yeah. So I'm wondering why they did it that way. I mean, was it really that way, or did they ad-lib a little? Because in Braveheart, they had the prince. He wasn't interested in his wife because she's a girl. She's female. He liked his the equivalent of a lady in waiting, but guy version. Anyway, he liked him in the movie. I don't remember in the book. Stop it! I'm sorry. Cats are fighting again because the boys decide that I'm trying to talk them out of this. I really am trying to do something about it. But the boys decide that she needs to be up her cat tree at all times. So I really want to go and get her own water thing. I mean, she's the water thing that they're using is hers, but it can't be like attached to the cat tree, so only she can use it. But if I could get something like that, that would be really awesome. For when we go to the graduation. Because my son's graduating on the 6th of June from high school. It's like, wow, where did the time go? I still remember him barely being able to walk, uh, sta- standing, not knowing what the heck was going on for his first Easter egg hunt. He's like watching the other kids going, what am I supposed to do? And then they went and got 95% of the eggs, and it's like, I think we ended up uh, having one at home also. Because he was like just standing. He could walk if you were holding on to him, kind of thing, I think. Wow. Um, I remember the time he was only like 3 months old, and he literally grabbed out. We were eating pizza for dinner that night, and he literally uh, reached out for my husband's pizza. Now he's graduating from high school, and hopefully, if he ever learns how to drive, um, he has no interest in learning. Is the thing. He could learn. He just has no interest in it. There's like, where they live, there's like nowhere to go. I was trying to convince him that, after he learns how to drive, he could go to Fairfield and visit his grandparents. He could go to, he could be able to go to college. He could, get to work on time. I don't know what I came up with, but, you know, I came up with a bunch of stuff, and he's like, no. It's like, okay. Well, maybe, hopefully not exactly the way that it went with me, but I didn't have any, I knew that I didn't have enough money to get my own car, so I didn't really have a want to learn how to drive either. But then all of a sudden I had a daughter, my daughter Ashley, and it was so much easier not having to get her on and off the bus. And she's one of those kids that wanted to sit on her own, and some of the bus drivers are like, "You have to hold on to her," and in my lap. And it's like, why? She's able to sit up. I've got a hand on her. Yeah. I just did not understand why, because she wanted to sit by herself. I mean, not by herself, but in her own seat. Anyway, oh, okay. So I was gonna explain. So I have a desk, and it's one of those nice desks. It's got the it looks like it's made out of real wood, and my husband definitely said it's heavy. And normally I do not allow any cats up there, but Bobby's being stubborn, and as soon as he gets home, I'm gonna have my husband pull something off of there and um, move the thing over a little, because if he moves the thing over a little, then I don't have any problem with, at least I don't think I have any problem with, I'm confused. Oh, okay. Anyway, I don't have any problem with going um away, because I won't have to worry about. There's something up there that has like a nail sticking out of it, and I've been asking him to get that thing off of there, and he's like, nobody's going up there, so who cares? And it's like, well, Bobby goes up there now. She usually just stays on the one side of the barn. I've got a barn, uh, not figurine and not toy, but it's one of those things that comes out at Christmas time. It's a barn. Anyway, we've got that up there, and then the next thing over is um, Coral's urn, and then I've got to take that with me. Never mind. Uh, and then my tripod and my witch's hat. I'm gonna take the tripod with me because sometimes my hand shakes and I don't know why, and yeah. So I think that would be much better when I'm recording it to not have a shake. Although I did really good at the parade this year. We have a Nevada Day parade every year, and I recorded it, and it was all handheld, and I did pretty good. Well, let's see here. That's better, I think. Okay, if you're up here like that, you can kind of see that it goes that way. So, you can definitely see it goes that way. But I gotta remember that this isn't gonna be that. It's gonna be, it's gonna be all the way down. Anyway, I gotta figure it out. Oh, are you serious? Oh my goodness. I swear I fixed that. Apparently not. Anyway, so Bobby got up there. She knows she's only supposed to be in the left corner so she can look out the window. And right now we've got my I made a sign that says please buy my books, and eventually I want to have a picture of each cover and put it on there. Anyway, I've got that kind of blocking the window, so she's probably a little upset about that. But anyway, she came with a stuffed animal named Terrence. That's her baby. So she kept getting very angry at the boys because they were getting too close to her baby, we think. Either that or she needs to be at Only Lonely. Or Only Lonely with girl dogs. And if that's the case, then we're going to have to find something. Or my sister's supposed to be moving. I don't know how they're going to pull that off. I think that's a crazy dream right now, but um anyway, my sister's supposed to be moving, so maybe we can figure out how to get Bobby back over there. Although she doesn't like her doggy sister Ari. Because Ari kept trying to bounce on her head. I mean, jump on her head. We have no idea why. So, I know they did it that way on Cadet Kelly. Where, the dad was over here, he's taking pictures, and he ends up. Well, he's still alive. Totally still alive. So, Kelly, she's got this thing where, he was supposed to show up to her big competition thing, and he didn't. And, Dad always answers the cell phone when she calls. Well, he's not answering. So she's like really freaking out. And her soon to be stepdad is the commandant, or yeah, I think it's the commandant of the school. And, um, you know, her mom and the guy aren't married yet, but, but, uh, maybe, yeah, I'm pretty sure they weren't married yet at the time. Maybe they were. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Stepdad takes her over where dad was supposed to be, and they see him, and she rappels down, and they start talking a little bit, and they get him all rescued and everything, and then they do the big competition, and she's getting Kelly's getting yelled at because we got slaughtered without you. We're like 10 points down or whatever it was. And uh that's Christy Carlson Romano's character, cuz I haven't seen that in so long. It's not even funny. I love that movie, but I haven't seen it in forever. But anyway, I think it was Christy Carlson Romano um played Bonnie on Kim Possible. Or maybe she played Kim Possible. Oh, no. Hillary. I think Hillary. I don't know. Anyway, Christy Carlson Romano played somebody on. I think she played Kim Possible, and uh, Hillary Duff played Bonnie, but I can't remember. Yeah, because Christy Carlson Romano was the one that was in the "Call Me, Beat Me if you want to reach me. If you want to reach me, it's okay." That song, in the music video. Anyway, it was really cool. But anyway, so Bobby knows that she's not allowed, you know, on any part except for that one area, and she keeps trying to go over to the right side because there's some kind of flying insect, or at least she thought there was. I still haven't seen it, but she thought she saw it last night, and then she thought she saw it just a little bit ago. Then she got down, and everybody was fighting. Oi. Or was that before? But anyway. So, if you're wondering why I'm putting the fences so nobody can go down there, yeah, it's to save whoever spawns up here. Because they could fall and be perfectly safe. But probably if they fall, they're going to get very, very hurt. And I don't like that. I love animals. Which, speaking of animals, one of the families I watch is Don't Stop Meowing. Their family. Don't Stop Meowing is actually supposed to be all about the cats, and then their other channel, I'm not sure how to say I guess it's their last name. I'm not sure how to say it, but but anyway, um, uh, you know, the cat's mom and dad, they've got a son named Tash now. He just turned 1 this year. It's really cool. Anyway, he likes animals, and he likes those kind of picture books that have they usually have words in them too, but the ones where pet and you pet the felt or whatever it is, so you feel like you're petting the ducky or the kitty cat or whatever animal. And anyway, I thought it was really cute because they took him to the farm yesterday, and he's like totally staring at this cow, and a turkey walks up. Well, no, the turkey was there already. The turkey was there already, and he wasn't making a gobble 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 sound. He's making this other sound. It sounded really weird. I was hoping the turkey was okay. And then this other turkey walked up. There's like 3 cows in the thing, and then two turkeys, at least. Anyway, he was just totally fascinated with it. And he got to sit in a tractor. I'm gonna assume it was a tractor. Anyway, and he's he was doing the steering wheel like he's driving. It was so cute. And then, I usually don't like watching Fifi's mom because all of a sudden, she's like speaking English, and then all of a sudden she's speaking Arabic. And it's like, well, I can't understand Arabic, and I know there's like a whole bunch of people watching this. It's not just English speaking people, but that is so hard to deal with when like she's speaking English, and then all of a sudden, but yeah, so. But I like watching the other one with Baby Idris. I mean, sometimes when Baby Idris's dad, Sammy, does a really high note, like when he goes, "Good morning, Snap family. He doesn't say it country like I just did. I can't even say it the way he just said it, but I mean the way he usually says it. But when he does that, it's like I like it because it's his own thing, but it's a little too shrill for me. But I have hang out with cats all day, so they're usually really quiet. And then all of a sudden they'll have an argument. I'll tell them to stop it, and we're working on them actually listening to that stop it. Like yesterday, I actually got Ben to stop what he was doing. Like I said, he was acting like Bobby was the. Oh, that's why. That's why. Okay. I was like, I need to, like my OCD is saying, I need to take this and go down here with it. And then I'm like, no, because those are different. Oh, I did figure it out. No, I figured it out for the downstairs. Oh yeah. Okay, so I need to go back to the house and figure out how many squares in is this hallway. See, but over here I'm at the gas station. I was trying to figure that out. I wanted it originally to be green. And then I made it the copper color and I used waxed instead of non-waxed, or I used non-waxed instead of wax. Anyway, I didn't choose the one that turns green on its own. Okay. So what I need to do is go up here to the second floor. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So there's 8 for this for this hallway here, and then each of those little hallways is 6. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be totally confused when I get back. Stealthily, so Dad doesn't see. But she says between the two things. Jesse wants to take her out on a kissing date. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is 9. Wait, oh, no, not right there. That's the living room. Well, we'll leave it there for now. Okay, we'll leave it. Leave it! Leave it! Leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it! Oh, I just realized what I was kind of singing. Not singing, but singing. Okay, so I need that again. You know what? We'll just hop the fence. There we go. Hop the fence in this case means hop the wall. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Okay, perfect. I just put that there. I have no idea. Oh, I gotta figure out the room and all that too. The room sizes. Well, I gotta figure out the bathroom first. And I've got to go upstairs. So I'm gonna end the stream here. I hope you're having a great day. Know that you are enough. You are important. You do matter. There's nothing you cannot solve or handle. Even work in school. And what to do for your summer vacation if you happen to be lucky enough to be between school years. I always think that's lucky because, like, that was my favorite part. Summer vacation, maybe you can stay up later. Maybe you got one of those parents that's strict and doesn't let you do that, which actually is okay because staying on a sleep schedule is a lot healthier. Anyway, and I was ready to chat with people and nobody wanted to chat with me except for the person wanting to sell me people. And please check out my books on Amazon. Go into Amazon and type in the search engine Tina Rash Books, TinaRashBooks, and you should find all 6 of my books, which are Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, Esperanza's Party, The Island, and Adopted Coral, which is going to have a part 2 one these days because, I just got way too many nice pictures and hopefully I can come up with a happy ending. I'm a little afraid that I'm not going to be able to. Anyway, and please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell if you're watching me on YouTube, and please follow and chat if you're watching me on Twitch. I still need those 3 chatters. Please. And I will see you in the next stream or video.